March Madness is here. Hit the follow. There's going to be breakdowns of each region. There's going to be breakdowns of each round. There's going to be breakdowns of best matchups, teams to fade, teams to stay away from. And let's get right on into it. Out of the gate, I'll be starting off with the number 1 overall seed in the East region. So during March Madness, the same as every year, I'll have all my picks and everything. You can hit the link in the bio, the link in the comments. I'm going to have deep, in-depth analysis. I already have bets released. Now, all of these are model-based, history-based. I've got an entire database dating back to 2008 with all picks, with everything you're going to need. And anyone who subscribes to any of the premium content gets access to any and all of those. You get graphs, data visualizations, you get anything you can imagine, and you can also ask any questions as far as game theory when you're filling out these brackets, which everyone does. Everyone fills out brackets. Work people that have no business filling out brackets, everyone does. If you want some insight and maybe try to win your group pool, come on over here, shoot a follow. You can also subscribe to any of my packages, and you can shoot me an email, patrick.ghostpicksats@gmail.com, and you can ask any questions or anything you have. Now let's get on into it. UConn, number 1 overall seed, very well deserved. My biggest bone to pick with the selection committee, I've got 2 of them. Number 1 being Indiana State. How the fuck do you leave them out of the bracket? I lost it there. How is Indiana State not in? How do you put Virginia in the bracket? Drives me crazy. Virginia has no business being in there. But anyways, the second biggest one is Auburn as a 4 seed. Auburn very well could be the 5th best team. They could be a 1 seed. Auburn was a top 10 team almost all year long, and then they run through the SEC tournament, dominate, and they're a 4 seed in the number 1 overall bracket with UConn. I think that's an absolute travesty. I think Auburn very well might be the best team in the nation, and I like them to win the national championship. I have them at 20-1. I think that they're maybe the best bet of anyone. Vegas knows. They're the 5th best odds, 6th best odds to win, yet they're a 4 seed in the number 1 bracket. Makes no sense. But anyways, let's get further on into it. So my first overall video for March Madness will be about teams to fade. This one is a very simple concept. I do it just about every year, and 9 out of 10 years, it succeeds. Teams to fade are teams that are unbalanced. Teams with phenomenal defense and poor offense, or phenomenal offense and poor defense. This year, there's 3 of those teams in particular that I am really looking at. Iowa State was one of them last year, and they got smoked early. They were the number 1 defense, but they had no offense. They got in a hole early, and they couldn't get out of it. That happens all the time to these great defensive teams with poor offenses. All it takes is an opponent getting hot early in the game, and you're in the hole, and then you don't have the offense to make up for it. And then on the other end, teams that are phenomenal on offense, all it takes is one bad shooting performance, and you're out. It's that simple. Teams, if there's 64 teams in here, 50 of them could beat any of the other teams. There's 50 teams in here that could win against any of the other 50. UConn maybe, and Purdue maybe the 2 exceptions, and Houston. But any of those teams, those 12, 13, 14 seeds, any day of the week could beat those top seeds, especially if they have a bad shooting day, and especially if they can't play defense. Those 3 teams that I am looking at here that fall into this category, and before I get into it, these teams are not good offenses. These are historically phenomenal offenses, including the best offense in my database. In my 20-year database of teams, this is the best offense, is Purdue, in the history of college basketball, or the last 20 years. The best offense. They have a great defense, so they're not a fade team this year. I like Purdue. The teams, next one in line, Alabama, the number 2 offensive efficiency in the history of my database, but they're 100th in defensive efficiency this season. Alabama, fade. Next one, Illinois. Illinois plays Morehead State. Illinois has Terrence Shannon. They are good. Illinois is a very good team. I've been taking them I took them all the way throughout the Big Ten tournament. They are a very good team. I will be fading them. And the final one is Kentucky. Reed Shepard and co. Man, I love this Kentucky team, and as does everybody. The number one thing about these teams is that they are very appealing to the eye. They are pretty teams to watch. They have phenomenal offenses. They get after it. I mean, these are all like top 15 in the teams in the last 20 years, according to my offensive numbers. They're damn good, but their defenses suck. They're a huge liability, and they're a very pretty team. They're going to be big favorites. I will be fading them. I don't think any of them get past the Sweet 16. Good luck. God bless. Grind on and fade away, baby. That's right. Even worse, the more I look into this freaking Virginia 10 seed, they're in Charlotte. How do you give a play-in game a damn home game? I mean, they're going up against Texas or Colorado State. It's going to be a home game for Virginia. Committee, you suck ass.